Greetings fellow hunters! Finally, I'm doing a live playthrough for one of my favorite games of all time, Bloodborne. It's also one of the top PlayStation 4 games at the moment. In my last video, I asked my subscribers which game in the Soulsborne series they want me to play, and Bloodborne had by far the most requests. However, the plan in the long run is to do all of them. Dark Souls 1 will be the next one. This playthrough will cover most things in the game. Mechanics, the obvious and the hidden ones, the story and lore of the game, and much more. This will be an Arcane intensive run, so our build will eventually be a fully fledged Arcane / strength build. The game doesn't have many weapons and gadgets for Arcane builds early on in the playthrough, so there won't be a lot of weapons and mechanics to discuss in the first video of this playthrough, but we sure will as we go along through the game. Moreover, we won't upgrade anything in the first part of the game, just to make it a tad more interesting, and it will also show how weak we will start out and how powerful we will end up being in the end. And of course, we will be playing the Old Hunters DLC. This will be a journey for me and my subscribers, so I will read every comment for this playthrough so we can have a discussion about the game, and of course it will help me improve the playthrough with each episode as I get your feedback from you guys. So, without further ado, let's start. Now the format will change to live gameplay. Hello wonderful people! At last I'm playing Bloodborne, the masterpiece, one of my favorite games of all time. Bloodborne makes you think about games in a different ways. It's one of the top PlayStation 4 games, so let's start this in-depth playthrough.
Oh yeah. Pale blood. Well, you've come to the right place. Yharnam is the home of blood ministration. You need only unravel its mystery. But where's an outsider like yourself to begin? Easy, with a bit of Yharnam blood of your own. But first, you'll need a contract.
So this contract translates to us making our character. So we're gonna call the character Lady Maria. Of course, female, it's a lady. Age young. Now since our build is going to be an Arcane build, which is extremely difficult to do, you have to get out of your way to do in your first playthrough, but that's what we're going to be doing because it's very interesting, it's different. So we need to use the Cruel Fate because it has the highest Arcane. It has 14 Arcane. Let's look at the backstory. It says, face terrible hardships, but now confident in your purpose. That sounds like me. Let's go with it. And let's start. Oh, of course, before we start, I do have a pre-made Lady Maria. Let's begin, my friends. Let's begin this amazing journey.
Good. All signed and sealed. Now, let's begin the transfusion. Oh, don't you worry. Whatever happens, you may think it all a mere bad dream.
So we're very vulnerable at this point. We see a beast. We're still almost unconscious, laying on the bed. He looks like a beast right out of a nightmare. Who's going to save the day? Wow. Who saved the day, I wonder? Is he another beast or human? What? Is it this little guy? Oh, there's more of them. Of course, now they freak you out at this point in the game, but you learn to love them actually. These are one of the only source of good in this game. Thank you, messengers.
Ah, you found yourself a hunter.
At last, we started the masterpiece. Now, since this is going to be an in-depth run, and to give this game justice, we have to take it slow. I can finish the whole game in 2 hours, but we're gonna be taking it slow because we want to look at everything this game offers, from mechanics to story to lore. So the game is basically, they've thrown us after a murder scene, you can consider it. We're thrown in a world that doesn't care about us. We have to put the puzzle together, and it's like after a murder scene. You know, the world doesn't care about you. You have to put the things together and find out what happened and what's your purpose. So the first thing to do this in this game is to read item descriptions. So the first item description we have is our own armor. Let's read it. It's called Foreign Garb. Clothing worn upon awakening in the nightmare of blood, to the nightmare of blood and beasts. Not typical clothing for Yharnam, perhaps it is of foreign origin. It is said, after all, the traveler came to Yharnam from afar. Without memory, who will ever know? So we know we're not from Yharnam. We lost our memory, don't remember who we are, but all we know is that we got our blood transfused over here, and there's something shiny here. Let's see what it is. It says inspect. Handwritten scroll, seek pale blood to transcend the hunt. Now, we don't know who wrote this at this point. So let's continue and find out what's about this pale blood. I really love this game. I'm very, very, extremely happy to do this playthrough. You cannot understand. I truly love this game, and I think it's one of the best games of all time. So we have to give it our full attention. So we come in here. We find the beast from afar. Now, there are 2 outcomes here. He either kills us or we kill him. 99% of new players will die here. I might die here too. But you can kill him, or you can also run past him if you want. So since you don't have any weapon, the best thing is to backstab him. To backstab him, you have to charge R2, so charge a heavy attack. And then once he's stunned, you just press R1 and you get that backstab. It's a one-shot kill. It's pretty easy. These guys, you know, they seem scary, but once you know how to tackle them, they're not very difficult. Oh, Yharnam. I miss you as fuck, man. Look at the architecture, the Gothic era architecture. So we have an item here. Quicksilver bullets. These are the bullets we're going to be using for our guns. We see a door there. We try to open it. It's closed by a device. So at some point, we should open this door in the future. So there's this door. Okay. Yharnam. Central Yharnam. Of course, the architecture is not realistic. This is not possible in real life. I think it's just too huge. But it's a game. Wonderful. Actually, everything you see, we're going to be going to. So this is another thing about this game. The consistency of world design and level design. You can see where you can go. If you are observant, you actually get rewarded. So we see here another door that's closed. And we see an enemy. We have no weapons. So we try to do the same thing we did to the beast, try to backstab him. Although you don't have to do that, you can just run past him. You can run past most of the enemies in this game, but we won't be doing that. Now, the thing about Arcane builds, the thing we're doing, is they're just not... I don't know why they made it this difficult to make it in your playthrough. It's extremely difficult because you need to go Chalice Dungeons some way or another if you want to make an early Arcane weapon. So, I don't know why they made it this difficult. So it's not like infusions in Dark Souls where it's very easy to infuse weapons. We hear a terrifying sound from afar. Terrifying. You wonder what's that at this point. Look at this beautiful area. A very good looking game for a PlayStation 4. So there's a lamp here. Let's just get rid of this guy. So lamps function similarly to bonfires, although I prefer bonfires because these are very limited what they can do. You cannot teleport from one lamp to another. So let's press here. It says this lamp now transports you back to the hunter's dream. I wonder what's the hunter's dream. Upon death, you will awaken at this lamp. So let's use this lamp. Go to whatever this hunter's dream is. So we see a doll over here. Let's just inspect it. An abandoned doll. Okay, I see something over here. Accept gift from messengers. The messengers offer you a trick weapon. Choose one. Trick weapons are wielded with the right hand and employed in beast hunting. There are 3 weapons: Soul Cleaver, Hunter Axe, and Threaded Cane. Now, there are tiers here, definitely. Forget it, once they're all fully upgraded, they're all good. But at this point in the game, in the beginning, there are actually tiers. So the Threaded Cane is the worst because the damage is very, very low. Hunter Axe and Soul Cleaver, both of them are extremely amazing. But I would say the Soul Cleaver is better, it's just easy mode. Hunter Axe is really good too, but I would say Soul Cleaver is best, then Hunter Axe, and then the Threaded Cane. We're gonna be taking a Threaded Cane for now. Let's read the description on it, and equip it too. It says, one of the trick weapons of the workshop, commonly used by hunters on their duties. Sufficiently deadly as a rigid bladed cane, but also serves as a whip when its blade is split into many. Concealing the weapon inside the cane and flogging the beast with the whip is partly an act of ceremony, an attempt to demonstrate to oneself that the bloodlust of the hunt will never encroach upon the soul. Interesting, so we see more stuff here. The messengers offer you a firearm. Choose one. Firearms are wielded with the left hand and employed in beast hunting. So there are 2 pistols. Hunter pistol is for long range. It's good for parrying. Hunter blunderbuss is for short range, but it does stun opponents and parry at the same time. But we want to parry from afar, so we'll take the hunter pistol. Let's read the description on it and equip it. Pistol made at the workshop for hunters stalking beasts. Hunter firearms are specially crafted to employ quicksilver bullets fused with the wielder's own blood, boosting damage against beasts. The pistol is a quicker draw than the blunderbuss, allowing for speedier responses to attacks. So the interesting part here, it says quicksilver bullets fused with the wielder's own blood. What? So let's continue here. A notebook received from the messengers. Leave messages with these loyal servants to share them with other. Well, so this notebook, you basically put messages for other players. So here's inside this place. Here we can store our items as a storage. Over here we upgrade our weapons and repair them. And over here it says, once we press at the memory altar, it says the workshop tool required for this task is missing. Of course, there's a NPC here. Now let's look more before we talk to him. There's here, it says, this path appears to be linked to the nightmare, but there are no messages. There's another one here. Trade in blood echoes with messengers to buy and sell items. So this is the merchant in the hunter's dream. Now there are very important items here that we want to read description. They're the basic items. So let's start with the blood vial, the one we heal with. Special blood use administration. Restores HP. Once a patient has had their blood ministered, a unique but common treatment in Yharnam. Successive infusions recall the first, and are all the more invigorating for it. No surprise that most Yharnamites are heavy users of blood. So it's addictive it's addicting at some point, and it's blood, and the game's called Bloodborne, so this is our healing source in this game. Quicksilver bullets. Special bullets used with hunter firearms. Ordinary bullets have no effect on beasts, and so quicksilver bullets fused with the wielder's own blood must be employed. The strength of quicksilver bullets depends greatly upon the wielder's blood tinge. So we actually use our own blood to actually enhance these quicksilver bullets, and if we press up on the D-pad, you can see we use a bit of our HP, so meaning a bit of our blood, to have 5 extra bullets. So yes, that is true. You do actually use the blood to actually use them on the bullets, and it's extremely important. People overlook the quicksilver bullets. Now let's look at the Molotov cocktail. The last thing we're going to be reading here. Explodes in raging flames when thrown against an object. One of the oldest hunter tools available in the workshop. Since the tragedy that struck old Yharnam, fire has become a staple in beast hunts and is thought to cleanse impurity. Certain types of beasts have an abnormal fear of flame. So now we know the beasts are afraid of flame. However, it does clarify and says certain types. So there are more than one type of beast, which is interesting. Now you'll find tombs here, which is very confusing first time around. Once we press first ritual altar, it says a holy chalice is required to conduct a ritual. We still don't have a holy chalice. This is the access to the chalice dungeons. We'll talk about them later on. So there's more things here. Look at the beauty of the hunter's dream, man. The flowers, the greenery. However, if you look at the surrounding area, there's nothing. Where are we? You know, this adds to the mystique and mysteriousness of this area. What are these other pillars? Are they other hunters' dreams, sustained by other great ones? We don't know. That's the thing. That's the beauty. But where are we, really, you know? And the nice thing about From Software games, they always tie, you know, dying in the game with the lore. So in this game, it says when you die, you end up in the hunter's dream. So it's what sustains us, what keeps us alive. In Dark Souls, it's getting hollowed. That's why you don't never die. Every time you die, you just get more hollowed. In this game, you end up being in this dream that keeps us alive, basically. So what the hell is it, basically? Is it a real world or is it a dream? That's the thing. So before we talk to this NPC, there's a couple of things. First of all, I won't be standing and talking to NPCs. I have pre-recorded audio here with me on the phone I'm going to be listening to, so we can be on the move while we listen to the NPC. But before we talk to him, we can tell that he's, you know, on a wheelchair, so he's weak. He's an old man. He has a mentorish vibe. He's like a mentor to us, and it's true. If we look at his wheelchair from behind, it does have some engravings. One very interesting is the flower up there, if you can see it. It's similar to the flowers we see outside. So there is also another perspective for the flowers, which we'll be talking about also later on. So let's talk to this big guy, shall we?
This was... Oh, aha! You must be the new hunter. Welcome to the hunter's dream. This will be your home for now. I am... Gehrman. Friend to you hunters. You're sure to be in a fine haze about now, but don't think too hard about all of this. Just go out and kill a few beasts. It's for your own good. You know, it's just what hunters do. You'll get used to it. This was once a safe haven for hunters. A workshop where hunters used blood to enhance their weapons and flesh. We don't have as many tools as we once did, but you're welcome to use whatever you find. Even the doll, should it please you.
So this is Gehrman. Of course, he tells us a bit about the hunter's dream, but he tells us not to think about anything that's happening to us, which is naive, of course. We really want to know what's happening to us. But if you notice, this is actually the first area in the game. There was no lamp before here, but now there is a lamp for some reason. Let's go back to our bed where we first started. The door is closed. I wonder why. Let's see. There's another NPC here that we should talk to. So, yes, let's talk to her.
Are you out on the hunt? Then I'm very sorry, but I cannot open this door. I am Yosefka. The patients here in my clinic must not be exposed to infection. I know that you hunt for us, for our town, but I'm sorry. Please. This is all that I can do. Now, go. And good hunting. Are you still in need of something? But I have nothing more to offer. Please, try to understand my position. I can only pray for a fruitful hunt.
So if you notice what she said she has nothing to do, she can do nothing to help us. However, she did give us an item that actually increases our HP. So similar to the blood vial, but it completely restores your HP. So there's another NPC that you can miss easily, and especially in this playthrough we do need to talk to him because we need an item later on from him, which is Arcane based. So let's talk to this NPC that you can miss easily.
Oh, you must be a hunter, and not one from around here either. I'm Gilbert, a fellow outsider. You must have had a fine time of it. Yharnam has a special way of treating guests. Well, I don't think I could stand if I wanted to, but I'm willing to help. if there's anything that can be done. This town is cursed. Whatever your reasons might be, you should plan a swift exit. Whatever can be gained from this place, it will do more harm than good. Pale blood, you say? Never heard of it. But if it's blood you're interested in, you should try the Healing Church. The church controls all knowledge on blood ministration and all varieties of blood. Across the valley to the east of Yharnam lies the town of the Healing Church, known as the Cathedral Ward. And deep within Cathedral Ward is the old Grand Cathedral, the birthplace of the Healing Church's special blood, or so they say. Yharnamites don't share much with outsiders. Normally they wouldn't let you near the place, but the hunt is on tonight. This might be your chance.
So this is Gilbert. He talks about, he tells us that this city is cursed. Also, if you notice, there's a lamp right next to him. This indicates that there's an NPC, and another indication is also this actually lamp burns out an incense or a sweet smell that actually ward off beasts. So there's another mechanic for it. That's why they're safe inside, basically, these NPCs. So this guy, he's pretty difficult to kill. He killed me a million times before because all his attacks are delayed. So he's called the Executioner. Let's try to get him. Usually you want to parry him. Of course, if you notice, the whip has two forms, one a cane and the other is a whip. So it's good for long range, but the damage is, look, 12. This is crap, unacceptable to be honest. He's gonna die there. Oop, almost. Okay, let's equip this and get rid of him. Oh shit! See, you want to be on your grind all the time. Die. Oh, didn't kill him. Okay, we eliminated this guy. So this area, Central Yharnam, is basically the area that determines if you're the player for Bloodborne or you're not. It's basically a test, a check, you can say, that if the player who's playing can actually continue or not. By the way, there was a glitch back in the day, but it got patched where you can actually jump through here and skip a lot of the game. So, however, it got patched. I never particularly used it. The design of this area is just genius. It teaches you everything you need to know about Bloodborne, you know, everything you need to know. And if you couldn't handle this area, you can't handle the other areas, basically. So if you notice these enemies, they're human, beast-like, so this talks a bit, you know, shows us a bit about the different types of beasts, but they can talk, you can hear them. They say it's all your fault. So they hate hunters because we basically hunt them down. So you can see this is a classic ambush. Once you come here, you don't see him behind the wall, you take the item, you get demolished. After you kill him, you think you're still safe, but there's another one, another bastard hiding somewhere here. Where did he go? Yep, over there. So you can see there's a lot of enemies that are actually burning a bigger type of beast, crucifixion style. They're all chilling there. I wonder what they're doing there, but you can skip them if you want. You can attack them. It's up to you, but you don't want to aggro all of them at the same time. It can be dangerous. So this torch attack, am I going to die? No. So you can see the whip. The nice thing, although it does low damage, the nice thing about it is you can engage from afar. This path is blocked. But look at this area, man. It's marvelous. Really, I really love it. Let's take the item there and skip those enemies. See, it's all your fault. Hunters are, you know, there's an item there, it's not very important. However, here is one of the first places where it actually tells you, you have to look around. If you don't look around, you're gonna miss a lot of things in this game. So let's just get rid of this guy before we continue. So there's an item here that you can miss easily. Bloodstone shards. More material for our weapons. Can never go wrong with this. Now, another thing here that you can miss easily is here. There's a path over here. We're not going to be taking it now, but you can miss this. So, another thing that tells you have to watch. So, as I told you, once you see this lamp that is actually emitting this smell, you can actually see a smoke thingy. This actually wards off beast. That means there's an NPC. However, this one is not important. There's nothing, you know, it just gives more life to the town. So, now we are at the circular fountain. We see this thing, whatever it is. But before we kill it, let's just come here. Also, there's these enemies too, the crows. They're pretty easy, but they can overwhelm you in numbers. And also, they're usually there to block your path in the game. They're not very dangerous, but so you don't run past enemies. But in general, very, very weak enemies. So we got our oil urn. Very good for arcane build. We'll use it soon. So let's get rid of this guy. And there's also an item we want there. See, do you have the time to backstab him? Yes. Bye-bye. Molotov cocktails, blood vial from him, and torch. Of course, torch is a torch, lights the dark. You can just, you know, toggle through it from the D-pad. Very useful in dark areas. We see a door there that we still can't open at this point. There's an item there. The world design of these areas are brilliant. They're done in a way that they all interconnect together, but they're very obvious, unfortunately, in Bloodborne, so you can tell that this is a shortcut you open later on. However, in Dark Souls 1, they were more natural. Here you can tell, you can see the shortcuts beforehand, which destroys the allure of it a bit, but still very good and interconnected level. So let's get rid of this dog. You can shoot dogs, they stun, they get stunned. All dogs act this way once you shoot them. So if they're overwhelming you, you can shoot to them and, you know, so it gives you time to run away or whatever. So we're getting overwhelmed there. We can shoot this guy. And actually does pretty good damage. Got rid of this annoying dog. Dog's kinda annoying in this game. Shit, that damage. You're angry and that. Okay, these guys, they always drop quicksilver bullets. So let's take our quicksilver bullets here. We're gonna be needing a lot of those because of our arcane build. Arcane tools use a lot of bullets. Now there are two different styles in this game that are very different from Dark Souls. You know, if you play this game like you play Dark Souls, you get crushed against bosses. I'll talk about them in a bit, the types that you're gonna be fighting, the two types you're gonna find. So you can come here. Now this area is where a lot of people, you know, get demolished basically. You can see these two beasts over there. They're done in a way that they get aggroed, both of them, which is very overwhelming. So let's try to get one out of the herd with the pebble. Okay, as I told you, you want a quick step towards the enemies here in this game. Much more safer than going away like in Dark Souls. You just want to watch out, you don't want to aggro the other guy too. Oh shit, we aggroed him. As it like... Oh, our nightmare is happening. The worst case scenario is happening. They're gonna follow us, both of them, so we need to use our Molotov cocktail basically. Oh, we missed one Molotov cocktail. Too bad. Okay, this guy now we got... Okay, no, he got... Come on, get backstabbed. Ah. There's a big chance we're gonna die here now. At last. Got rid of this guy. Now it's easy. So you can just walk like that, backstab him. Pretty easy once he's alone. But they're terrifying, I tell you that. They're pretty intimidating enemies. And look at the damage. You do pretty crappy damage once you hit them normally. But the backstab does a ton of damage. Now critical attacks, parries, and backstabs, they depend on your skill stat other than your weapon, of course. The hard hitting, the more, you know, damaging your weapon is, the more damage you'll do, but mostly skill is more important, which is stupid. So if you do, our build won't be doing a lot of critical damage because we're not going to be upgrading skill. We're going to be upgrading arcane and strength in this run. So here's another area where it tells you you're a loser if you don't look around. So this is the pebbles. However, you can easily miss an item over here. Upgrade material. Now another thing a lot of people ask is, if you look at the damage of the weapon, if you look at the right hand side, it says right hand weapon 1 attack 80. So that's the damage of our whip. So it does only 80. However, when you hit enemies, it doesn't do 80. And it depends on each attack you do. So what's the deal here? Why does it say 80 but you're dealing different damage? The answer is, of course, the multiplier. Each attack, so let's say this R1 has, let's say, 2 multiplier. That means 80 times 2, which is 160. But of course, there's no 2 multiplier in the R1. It's like less than 1 usually. So let's say it's an 0.8. So it'll do actually less damage. And still after that, you want to go through the defenses. So yeah, that's basically it. Let's come down here. So we see our first different type of beast. These beasts look more evolved, more beast-like, less human-like. These also are unstunnable, so it's always... they're stunnable, but difficult to stun, sorry. So always better to parry them. Makes it easy. Usually that's how it goes. Enemies that are very difficult to stun, especially with a weapon that is like the whip, which barely stuns anything. You wanna, you know, you wanna parry. Especially here in the beginning of the game. They're pretty high damage. They do pretty high damage, these guys. Come on, come on. Oh, I was a bit late there. See, you want to watch out. This would have easily been our death over there. Easily. So we need to parry one of them. Come on, come on, come on, come on. The problem is he won't die from that hit. But this guy, he dies from one hit. See, now we're invincible at this point. When we're doing... Ouch! No! No, 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 no. See, this nothing goes to plan always. Okay, we need to use a Molotov cocktail. Okay, he came down to us. Okay, I'm a dead man. There's no way I can survive this, I think. Let's go up. Okay, survived this, thank God. Very unlucky what happened there. Okay, let's take more blood vials from this beast. Usually they drop blood vials. Okay, we see an item there. Let's go get it. Of course, we came here. We want to cover the area, all of it. And then, of course, there's an item, very important item over here. But there's an ambush. So we first got to take care of this guy. Very dangerous. We keep missing, man. Keeps shooting the wall. Come over here. Although we won't kill him. Oh. Thank you. I don't think he died though. So we got our first piece of armor. Big difference with the defense. This has 60 defense. This has 110. So that will actually help. Let's read the description on it. One of the standard articles of hunter attire fashioned in the workshop, accompanied with a short cape to wipe away blood. A fine piece of hunter attire that provides stable defense to anyone facing Yharnam's beastly threat. Allows one to stalk beast unannounced by cover of night. I think all hunters also have this incense smell that a lot of NPCs will be telling us about. So we ward off beasts, and that's why a lot of enemies cover their eyes and noses. And also eyes are a big theme in this game, by the way. Oh, the enemy is waiting for us over here. Shit. Let's just shoot him, he'll die. Oh, thank you. More upgrade material. Quicksilver bullet. I think there's an item over here now. There's an item over here. You can see this big enemy. Very scary from afar. Big piggy pig. But he's pretty easy. Don't be. He's gonna kill me. When I say easy, I get punished. So you want to backstab him. Once he's backstabbed, he's a piece of cake. You can actually constantly backstab him once you do this. No need even to oh, okay. I didn't mean to do that backstab, but whatever. He squeals. His squeals are very noisy. So we took a Soul Hunter badge. And let's read the description on that. These badges unlocks items at the merchant shop in the Hunter's Dream. So let's look at it. Badge crafted long ago at the workshop attests to one's prowess as a hunter of beasts. The workshop is gone and no group recognizes this meaningless badge except the messengers in the bath who understand its profundity. Profundity means deep knowledge. Certain things can only be entrusted with a hunter in possession of this badge, or so they believe. They believe so much in us, these messengers, that they're the only ones who see meaning in this badge. And the messengers are pretty interesting, as I said. In my opinion, and also there's some evidence that backs it up, is that they are thoughts of other hunters who died during the hunt, who couldn't finish what they started. And that's why they're helping you, so you can finish what they started. That's why I believe there's no certain answer. However, they do see badges in a very, different way than other entities in this game. So now we're here. He killed many enemies for us. Thank you. You can see we're taking... As you notice, the threaded cane does crap damage. You want to parry this guy and just demolish him this way. Thank you. So this bridge actually shows us a lot. Being observant in this game actually helps a ton. So we can actually see an area that we're going to be going to the future, which is very sweet. So you see these stairs over there. Actually, you go down later on in the area and there's going to be a boss down there. Once we go down there, I'll show you up. And you can see many areas we're going to be going to, or we already been there. So you can see also that bridge. We haven't been there, but we'll be there soon. So yeah, being observant in this game is very, very rewarding. Let's continue. We came here to open a shortcut, which we will just open. We'll later on use it, not now. Okay, let's go down again. Same place where we killed that pig. So yes, as I said before, this area is done in a way that it does a check on players. You can either continue this game or you can't, bro. And I would say it is pretty difficult for a new player. You cannot deny that. You just cannot deny that. Okay, let's go up. Madman's Knowledge. Interesting item that we'll read description now in a second. There's an NPC there, nothing important. Okay, we aggro this guy for some reason. Usually he stays there and you can just backstab him. Ouch. I wonder why he got stuck there like this. So we came here for a side quest, which will help us later on. So let's talk to this NPC.
Who are you? I don't know your voice, but I know that smell. Are you a hunter? Please go look for my mum. Daddy never came back from the hunt, and she went to find him, but now she's gone too. I'm all alone and scared. Really? Oh, thank you. My mum wears a red jeweled brooch. It's so big and beautiful. You won't miss it. Oh, I mustn't forget. If you find my mum, give her this music box. It plays one of Daddy's favourite songs. And when Daddy forgets us, we play it for him so he remembers. Mum's so silly running off without it.
So such a cute girl. She tells us that she gave a piece of music. Now we'll read the description of it. A piece of music box. She talks about that she's looking for her mother, which we'll be looking at, which we'll be knowing more about. And she tells us that the music actually makes her father remember, which at this point we don't know what it means. So usually this path you do come from up and then you continue down, but we're coming the opposite way. So we can cover this as efficient as possible, this area. So let's read the description on that box. A small music box received from a young Yharnam girl plays a song shared by her mother and father. Inside the lid is a small scrap of paper, perhaps an old message. 2 names can be made out, however, faintly. Voella or Viella, whatever that is, and Gascoigne. So we should remember these names. It'll make sense later on. There's no need to kill these enemies unless there's an item. Oh, there's an item there. Let's go get it. I think it's shards or... Okay, no, nothing important. Dead mate. So this is another place where you can miss easily. So there are 2 items here. One of them is a weapon. If you don't come here, you'll miss it. However, we can buy it after we found that badge next to the pig, which is the soul spear, by the way. And there's another here. There's another opening here which you might miss too, and this will miss the whole quest if you miss it, and you miss a whole NPC. A very, very vicious and cool NPC. Let's talk to her.
Oh, a hunter, are you? And an outsider? What a mess you've been caught up in. And tonight of all nights. Here, to welcome the new hunter. Prepare yourself for the worst. There are no humans left. They're all flesh-hungry beasts now, still lingering about. What's wrong? A hunter unnerved by a few beasts. No matter. Without fear in our hearts, we're little different from the beasts themselves. What are you still doing here? Enough trembling in your boots. A hunter must hunt.
So Eileen telling us a hunter must hunt. A hunter must hunt. I wish I could replicate that. Super cool. But she basically says there's no humans left and there's only beasts and what you're doing here. And she gave us a hunter's mark, which actually takes us back to the... Okay, let's get this item. I cannot... If I don't take it, it'll keep, I'll keep thinking about it. I have to take it to have a clear mind. But she gives us hunter's mark, which if you use, it gets us back to the latest lamp, which is very useful if you don't want to, if you finish an area. Okay, we don't want to die, let's see. Okay, now we covered the whole area, the whole thing. Let's go back. Of course, now, yeah, talking about the different types of battles you'll be having in Bloodborne. Of course, there are some bosses that function like Dark Souls, and when I mean they function like Dark Souls, I mean by that you have to wait for openings and getting in once there's an opening, and then backing out. There are a few bosses like that, but most bosses in this game, they don't function like that. You have to go all the way. You have to be aggressive as possible. That's the way to go, and this will be shown now soon. So let's talk this and other NPC.
I've heard I have. Shutting up indoors isn't always enough. Well, if you hunters got off your asses, you wouldn't be in this mess. You're obligated to help me, you hear? So what'll it be? Are you going to tell me you're not? Yeah, I should have known. You're good for nothing. No respect for the elderly is what that is. That lot of good you outsiders do. Go on, Admit it. You think we're all mad, don't you? Well, go and stop it. I know all your tricks.
So this old lady is super pissed off. She just doesn't like hunters, as a lot of other NPCs do. And she actually identified us by the smell, by our incense. So you wonder why they hate us. Are they connecting us to Bergenworth or the Healing Church? I don't know, but I think that's the case. So we're in here now. Pungent blood cocktail. Let's read the description of that. Before we read, let's read the Madman's Knowledge, which we got both of those before. Skull of a madman touched by the wisdom of the great ones. What the fuck? Great ones? Used to gain insight. Making contact with eldritch wisdom is a blessing, for even if it drives one mad, it allows one to serve a grander purpose, for posterity. Or, you know, posterity means for future generations. So, if you look at the upper right hand side, you can see my blood echoes, 5,814. Below it, there's a number 0. Once we use this, let's use both of them. We have 2. Now, these insights, the more you have, the more difficult the game becomes. Also, it's tied to a stat. You actually do become more crazy the more insight you have, which is tied to the game mechanics, which is also interesting. We'll be talking about later once we encounter that mechanic. But in general, if you cannot level up unless you have insight, and if you don't use these items, so here's Bloodstone Shard, if you don't use these items, the only way to get insight is when you first encounter a boss. Every boss you encounter, you get 1 insight. So this is very interesting. I'll talk more about it once we go back to the Hunter's Dream. Now let's go cleanse some other different beasts. Now there's an oil urn we're going to be using. This one, you know, covers the target with oil, which makes our fire damage way more, like double damage. And since this is the Molotov cocktail has A scaling in Arcane, so the more Arcane you have, the more damage it does. It's going to be very useful for our build. So of course you're meant to use the torch here, you know, to have a better look here. But now you'll see where we at. So we're back to this bridge, if you remember this bridge, where we killed the beasts. So there's one more path we didn't take here. We can just run by past him. Oh my dear lord, what is this thing? So this beast is way more evolved than other beasts. It's called the Cleric Beast. Come on. You can see that the Molotov cocktail does tremendous damage. More oil urn. Okay, we parried them. Almost destroyed the whole boss without even touching him. You see our weapon does pitiful damage against this thing. So now we have no more Molotov cocktail. We have to do this by ourselves. So basically, as I said, this is one of the encounters where you want to be as aggressive as possible. Try to aim one limb. Aiming at limbs, you can break them in this game, and then you can do more damage to them. However, I missed it there. I had to change because he had that grab attack. Ouch, ouch, ouch. No, chill out, Cleric Beast. There's a couple more hits. So yes, you want to be as aggressive as possible. This is one of them bosses where if you stay, shit, I'm gonna die. Ah, no, for fuck's sake. One more hit, he would. Now we have no Molotov cocktail, unfortunately. So we're back at the Hunter's Dream. That was the last time I didn't use any lamp. So we took this item, although I was planning to cut this part, but we do need to read the item description of this. This was added after the DLC, although everybody has it. You don't have to have the DLC. But it's an important item that actually helps you in the game. You can summon NPCs to help you. But let's read the description. one of the resonating bells that cross the gaps of the of worlds. This bell is cracked and stained with the blood of beasts. A human must expend insight to ring this uncanny bell. The old hunters, who have long passed from the dream but cannot forget the feeling of the hunt, rely upon messengers to relay their thoughts. That's the evidence I was talking about. The messengers, you know, are basically hunters that couldn't make it. Ring the bell at their side and they are certain to give a listen, for the night of the hunt is long and unchanging. Very interesting lore. Now, as you can see, after opening... Okay, there's also this item, the Beckoning Bell and the Silencing Blank. These are online items. This actually helps us to summon other players. But as you can see, the doll has awakened. The doll has awakened, and she never awakens unless you have insight. So you wonder, is this real that she woke up, or is she still there but our insight made her, you know, awake? We don't know, but this makes this figure very important because it means there's no way you can talk to her unless you have insight. So it's interesting. Let's talk to one of my favorite characters in Bloodborne.
Hello, good hunter. I am a doll, here in this dream to look after you. Honorable hunter, pursue the echoes of blood, and I will channel them into your strength. You will hunt beasts, and I will be here for you, to embolden your sickly spirit. Over time, countless hunters have visited this dream. The graves here stand in their memory. It all seems so long ago now.
So, the doll is our caretaker, a very considerate lady. She says that you can use blood echoes to become stronger. I wonder where our blood echoes are. Oh, okay, they're over here. So now we have to kill this old school style. Unfortunately, unupgraded weapon is gonna take some time. So that was an extremely long fight. So you can see how powerful Molotov cocktail are. They're just super powerful with their arcane. It took like 9 of the Molotov cocktail, like took 3/4 of HP. But it was unfortunate we died there, but that's Bloodborne for you. No, never underestimate the bosses. So we got a hunter badge from this enemy. Let's read the description on that. One of the badges crafted by the Healing Church. The silver sword is a symbol of a church hunter. So it's basically this is a church hunter, the Cleric Beast. Ludwig was the first of many healing church hunters to come, many of whom were clerics. As it was, cleric transformed into the most hideous beasts. So they tell us more about the ranks of the Healing Church. We don't need to use this now. So let's proceed. Let's kill this guy to get some more healing blood vials. He should drop 2, but he backed out for some reason. So also, as he said, it said at the end, clerics are the most prone. Let's see again. As it was, cleric transformed into the most hideous beasts. I think now a lot of themes that Miyazaki talks about in all of the Souls games. One second. He always features some kind of religious organization or cult in each game. It always he shows us the good and the ugly of these cults or religions. So usually it does have some theme on the real life world. As you can know, we all know the scandal that happened in the Vatican, where basically priests were raping boys. We also know that some people use the religion for terrorism and war. Some others kill just others in the name of the religion. And there's many fucked up things that comes with religion, although there's a lot of other good things that comes from religion. But it just shows that some of the most people that claim to be the most pure and honest, and the people who judge others and tell them what you have to do and stuff like that, usually they are the most hideous from the inside. Usually they are the most who hide stuff. So actually a pretty good theme. I like this theme because not everything is good and dandy. Not everything is white or black. So even religions can be bad. That's the theme here in this game. And the healing church, the clerics are the most hideous. Oh, I missed him. Let's just skip him. We'll come back. So now there is another encounter. Now this fight actually plays two ways. It plays a bit like Dark Souls and more like Bloodborne. But you have to be cautious a bit in the first phase.
Beasts all over the shop. You'll be one of them, sooner or later.
So another boss, Father Gascoigne, the same name we have on the music box. So this music box, actually, if you use it, it will actually stun him for some time because he remembers his daughter, basically. So as you can see, the third cane actually helped us here, because we can actually hit them from here, from far away. So he's using the Hunter Axe, one of the starting weapons too. He does shoot his gun a lot. But why I love this fight, one of my favorite, is just Hunter against Hunter, you know? Fair fight. I do prefer his second phase. He's easier second phase, I think. Because second phase is you just have to quick step towards him, basically. Like, you know, most other enemies in this game. Oh, he can shoot through there, so you have to watch out. Oh, another shot. Actually, it does pretty good damage. Okay, I don't know if we were gonna survive this encounter. We have very little vials, however, we'll try.
The sweet blood.
That's why you have to play it safe.
Oh, it sings to me. It's enough to make a man sick.
Okay, at last he two-handed, so at least he doesn't shoot. Oh, he shoots actually. 3 vials left. Just don't shoot. The shooting is very annoying. And we'll be good. Okay, that was a jumping attack, but you cannot parry. We barely survived this. We won't have time to get... Okay, I don't think we'll survive this encounter anymore. There's a very slim chance we'll do. If he transforms, he can help us, but he's... Come on, transform, boy. So we use Yusefka's item that she gave us. Please, let's get the transformation.
Too proud to show your
We're
true
dead.
face, eh?
Okay, we have to come back then. Oh look, he transformed after we died, this bastard. Okay, we're back. Let's get our blood echoes and kill Gascoigne once and for all. Now we have, you know, more flasks to, you know, take risks at least. Ouch. Chill out, Gascoigne. Come on with your jumping attacks. By the way, if you noticed, he's using like a weird pistol that we don't have access to. It's like a pistol, but it shoots like a blunderbuss for some reason. Spam my way. Oh, we forgot to put the music box. Come on, stop spamming your gun. So these tombs, other than, you know, helping you, they can actually hurt you. But, you know, while you quick step, you can get stuck by one, you know. We're not gonna have time to do the... R2 stuns him better than the R1. Okay, now we can use the music box. This gives you a free backstab once he goes to beast mode. And you can actually chain backstab him now. Oh, didn't work. Ah! This guy, if you go far away and try to play Dark Souls style with him, he will kill you. Last, GG Gascoigne. Extremely fun fight. One of the better ones in Bloodborne. So he gave us a key. Let's read the key description. Udon Tomb Key. Key to the gate that blocks the tomb of Edon. Beyond the tomb, Udon Chapel can be found in the center of the Cathedral Ward. Only today, the church is abandoned, and some say that the residents of Udon have all gone mad. Now, this will have implications later on, once we go there and we'll see NPCs that actually go mad there. Udon is also a very important figure that we never meet, but has a lot of influence behind the scenes in the game. So this is the item that the girl wanted. She wanted, remember, she was looking for her mother. So if you read this, so this is Gascoigne's wife, a woman's bright red brooch engraved with her name Voila. Perhaps the jewel is a gift from a hunter, used to change into a droplet blood gem that fortifies any weapon. With a proper workshop tool, various weapons can be fortified. So it tells us more about blood gems, which we're going to be equipping soon once we get the tool shop for it. So now here's a very important part of the game that you should know about. Now the merchant over here, once we pass this area, the merchant becomes way more expensive. So here is your chance to go buy as much things as possible. Now buying blood vials is the best. Blood vials now cost 180, so you can buy like 80 now blood vials with the money we have at the moment with the blood echoes. So always before you reach, now I'll show you which point, buy the things that you need. I'm not gonna be buying them because I'm not gonna buy blood vials, you know, in this run. I know what we're gonna be doing. So here's a chest over here. Let's take this. Blood gem workshop tool. Now we can use blood gems on our weapons, but let's read the description too. A misplaced workshop tool from the hunter's dream. The hunter who retrieves this can fortify weapons by kneading blood gems into them. Blood gems add properties to weapons when used to fortify them, as blood defines an organism. So basically a weapon is like an organism, or I don't know what they basically mean here. But the point where the merchant becomes more expensive is after you open this door, which will trigger a cutscene. So watch out, my friends. Once you press this, the merchant doubles its prices at least. So let's open the door. So a cutscene just showing us the area. This Cathedral Ward is like your other home other than the Hunter's Dream. Here is where you get the NPCs to this is like the Firelink Shrine basically of Bloodborne, but there's no leveling up here. So there's an NPC that you can miss easily if you don't look back. Let's talk to him. He's one of the most kind-hearted NPCs in the game. Let's talk to him.
Oh, you must be a hunter. Very sorry. The incense must have masked your scent. Good. I've been waiting for one of your ilk. These hunts have everyone all locked up inside, waiting for it to end. It always does. Always has, you know, since forever. But it won't end nicely. Not this time. Even some folks hiding inside are going bad. The screams of women folk, the stench of blood, the snarls of beasts, none of them's too uncommon now. Yharnam's done for, I tell ya. But if you spot anyone with their wits about them, tell them about this here Erden Chapel. They'll be safe here. The incense wards off the beasts. Spread the word. Tell them to come on over, if you wouldn't mind. I know I shouldn't be asking you, but if you happen upon someone while hunting, tell them about this here Erden Chapel, if they seem worth being told, that is. Oh, and I do sincerely hope they are.
So this guy, he's one of the most intentioned guy. Like he has very good intentions for us. So he's a good guy. He's telling us this is one of the safe places. Erden Chapel is one of the safe places. Remember, the NPCs were asking us if we know safe places, so now we can go back and tell them about this place, which we will now. So if you notice, I bought another weapon. The reason for that is if you open a weapon, you can see in the middle there's like 3 squares, 2 radial and 1 waning. These shapes are the gems that you can put on your weapon. Since we're doing an arcane build, we do need the waning weapon. Early on, the Soul Cleaver and the Soul Spear are the only ones that have waning. There's Ludwig Holy Blade that we can get soon. However, we do want to do an arcane build. I really didn't want to use a Soul Cleaver or a Soul Spear, but unfortunately we have to. So now another thing that opened up here in the Hunter's Dream is this insight shop. So basically, to use this insight shop, you need at least 1 insight, I believe. It used to be 10 when the game was released, but now you can use it anytime. Buy with insight, make trades with messengers using insight. So here you trade with insights, down there you trade with blood echoes. Acquire items. So we have this pungent blood cocktail, which if you throw at beasts, they will follow. So it's a very, very good thing. It's pretty expensive also. So you can see here in Yharnam they produce more blood than alcohol, as the former is the more intoxicating. Now the small resonant bell, you can use it to help other people in other worlds. So if you want to help people in co-op, this is the item. We have to buy it in order to buy the sinister resonant bell, the one that actually makes us invade other worlds and at the same time get invaded. So we're gonna be using this item all through the playthrough, so we can get invaded at least to make it interesting. Now we can, after we kill Gascoigne, we can buy his also his attire from here. Which, let's read. Look, even the headpiece has a different headpiece have a different, actually different than the chest piece description. So let's read. Hunter attire worn by Father Gascoigne. Similar to hunter garb created at the workshop, only these are tainted by a pungent beastly stench that eats away at Gascoigne. Father is a title used for clerics in a foreign land, and there is no such rank in the healing church. The dingy scarf or dingy stock scarf is a holy shawl and symbol of the healing church, from which Gascoigne would eventually part ways. So he parted his way from the healing church, basically, Gascoigne. And Gascoigne is the father of that small lady. We won't continue that quest, unfortunately, but what happens is very sad. That little girl actually dies, unfortunately. And yeah, there's no, it just shows you the beginning of the game, there is no there's no good ending in this game. Everything is gonna go to shit. So here's, by the way, we missed this in the beginning of the game, where the developers actually shows us some tips here where you read them. This says, after taking damage from an enemy, there's a period of time in which attacking the enemy in return will restore a certain amount of your HP. It's a very genius mechanic. Pretty sure this mechanic will be put in other Dark Souls games and Bloodborne games. It's just too genius, too good. Also, let's level up.
Welcome home, good hunt. What is it you desire? Very well. Let the echoes become your strength. Let me stand close. Now shut your eyes.
Now in the beginning you can go fully arcane and start, with your damaging stats, but let's talk a bit more about the stats. We have 2 defensive, vitality, endurance. Vitality adds your HP, endurance adds your green bar for more action. These are the 4 offensive stats. Strength, skill, blood tinge, arcane. As we said, skill not only increases skill weapons, but also increases your damage on critical attacks or visceral attacks. Blood tinge is for your guns, and in this build we're gonna be adding strength and arcane. So now, however, in the beginning you want to have basic passive stats. That's the most important thing for survival. The point is reaching both of these 20, then we do our offensive stats.
Farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth in the waking world.
May you find your worth in the waking world. So are we in the waking world at the moment, or in the dreamland? We are in the dreamland, indeed. Now we're not in the waking world. Waking world when we go back to Yharnam. What's the difference and how does this actually work? We have no idea, but it adds to the mysteriousness, as I said before, of the game, the beautiful aspect of this game. Now another point I didn't mention is this soul cleaver in this form, not this one, does 20% extra damage against the beast because it's serrated. It does give you a tip in the description, however it never outright mentions it. I never knew about it until I read about it. So one of the trick weapons of the workshop, commonly used in the hunting business. This saw, effective at drawing the blood of beasts, basically this is the tip, transformed into a long cleaver that makes use of centrifugal force. The saw, with its set of bloodletting teeth, has become a symbol of the hunt, and only grows in effectiveness the more grotesquely transformed the beast. Now also the threaded cane, the weapon we had before, in its whip mode also does 20% against beasts. So I just wanted to point that out. There's a lot of hidden mechanics in the game. Another thing I want to point out is, other than the scaling, if you look at the weapon, let's go to a weapon, you can see in the middle there's a picture of a wolf and another picture of like a snake. These are the damage you do against beast and kin. There are 2 types of enemies, and there's neutral enemies, which are none of those 2. The beast, we're doing 100% damage of the weapon. Now some things can lower and upper this thing. So let's equip some blood gems now. That's the last thing we should do now here. Blood gem fortification, fortify weapon using blood gems. Blood gems imbue weapons with special characteristics. So at the moment we cannot do any upgrades. The reason for that is because we have to upgrade our weapon to open the slots. You open all of them when it's +6. However, we're gonna be needing our upgrade material for something else. Let's go back to the central yard. Let's go back to the first first floor sick room and talk to the Yusefka again.
Splendid. Let me ask you a small kindness. You're soon off to hunt, I presume? Then, if you find any survivors, tell them to seek Yusefka's clinic. Upon my Hippocratic oath, if they are yet human, I will look after them. Perhaps even cure them. This sickness, these beasts, they are not to be feared. This time the night is long. I may be trapped here, but I should do something to help. I'll even offer a reward for your cooperation. Tempted? Well, off you go then. If you find anyone who's still human, send them straight to Yusefka's clinic. You can assure them there's no place safer. Please,
So
do
this
me
is
this
very
service.
sinister. I don't know if you noticed, this is actually not the same voice actor that we talked about when we talked to her first time around. And remember, she said, I have nothing to do for you. And now she's saying that you can send people to my clinic. Very sketchy. But now we have two safe areas we can send our NPCs to. Well, before we go talk to that old lady and point out the place we're gonna tell her to go to, let's talk to this NPC so we can get our item that I was talking about for our Arcane. So let's talk to this guy.
You needn't concern yourself with me. I'm afraid I'm of little help now. But before I take this, I make no use of it, but perhaps you. What afflicted me was incurable, but this town gave me hope. Their strange blood bought me time. I was most fortunate, unharmed by the plague of beasts. I can even die human. Don't you worry about me.
So he's getting sick. He's actually getting this. He's getting sick like all the other residents of Yharnam, which indicates that he might transform into a beast later on. So let's talk to this lady again. Although I don't think I have her audio, so let's talk to her actually.
Now what is it now? I've much better ways to pass the time. Unless you found me a nice safe place.
So we have two options, Yusefka's clinic, and Uden Chapel. If we take her to Yusefka's clinic, it's a death sentence. We'll talk about that later on, but we want to tell her about Uden Chapel.
Well, what do you know? An outsider worth a lick of salt.
An outsider worth of a lick. Never heard that phrase before. As I said, this reminds me of a mad, angry grandmother, you know? So we're done with Central Yharnam, let's go back to the Hunter's Grave. Now, the Flame Sprayer is an arcane tool that we're going to be using a lot. Let's read the description. A special weapon used by certain members of the Healing Church. Spits searing flames by using blood-imbued quicksilver bullets as a special medium. Not the most efficient weapon by any stretch, but sometimes a sea of flame is just what the doctor ordered. Besides, the Beast of Yharnam can always use a good cleansing. So actually this, as we upgrade it, it becomes pretty good. And it's our first thing that we're gonna be upgrading for our build. So fortify weapon using bloodstones. If you look at the right hand side, upper right hand side, you can see we have 14. We need 16 to fully upgrade a weapon. So unfortunately we're gonna, because you need 3, 5 and then 8. So we're gonna only upgrade it twice, unfortunately. Flame sprayer, but we'll be able to upgrade it soon. Let's upgrade also our Soul Cleaver once. Now we're a bit more powerful, just a bit. Is German back? Did German come back? Yes, he came back. Let's get his second dialogue now. 1 second.
The moon is close. It will be a long hunt tonight. If the beasts loom large, and threaten to crush your spirits. Seek a holy chalice, as every hunter before you has. A holy chalice will reveal the tomb of the gods, where hunters partake in communion. Most of the holy chalices lie deep within the tomb of the gods, and the few that found their way to the surface were lost again in the hands of men. But if the old hunter tales remain true, one of the holy chalices is worshipped in the valley hamlet. Yet the town is in disarray. It was burned and abandoned for fear of the scourge, home now only to beasts. The perfect place for a hunter, wouldn't you say?
So Gehrman gives us a piece of his mind, tells us actually where to go, tells us where to find the holy chalice and all that. So we saw this enemy. He's not that difficult once you know how to strafe around him, but we'll keep him alive. Now, if you're afraid of him, you can actually use this and close the gate. So another thing, you know, we talked about before is the nature of insight. I would really love to hear your opinions about this. By the way, if you rush over here, you're a dead man. So you want to take your time here. You don't want a lot of enemies to aggro you at the same time. So let's aggro this first. This abomination, whatever it is. So as you can see, we're using the transformed attacks. They are amazing on the Soul Cleaver and the Soul Spear. They basically stun most enemies easily. Now let's get rid of this bird so we can backstab that guy freely, because he's annoying, this bird. There's another important item, not very important, but it's going to be important for us so we can take a better look. So it's basically the binoculars, but it's called monocular here. Because because it's just one single one, I don't know why it's called monocular, to be honest. But it'll give us, you know, a better view of things once we need it. So actually here, they put it on purpose so you can take a look down here. We actually been to that bridge. Remember, this is the bridge that took us to Gascoigne. Over there is the ladder where there's the pig, if you remember. So it just, you know, this monocular is put in a perfect place to know where to use it. And we've been there too. So yes. Now yes, about the nature of insight. It really interests me that the doll cannot be spoken to unless you have insight. Now if we use all our insight, it becomes 0. She actually becomes, again, whatever she becomes, you know, inactive. But you can level up while she's inactive, which is also interesting. So this is one of a kind enemy. You never see him again in the game. I mean, the weapon he's using. I would say this is definitely one of the most dangerous enemies in the game when playing from afar. However, when you're playing from close range, he's not that difficult. However, the trick here, the trap is there's actually that monster that drops bloodstone shards. So we have to kill him before this guy gets up, basically. And the flame will help us here. This flame sprayer. See, the distance this covers his weapon is just crazy. So you want to go around him. If you stay close, he's not that difficult. You just want to stay cautious because he can one-shot us, this guy. Stay unlocked makes it easier against big monsters, always, like, you know, even like Cleric Beast. But he barely takes any damage, this guy. You can actually riposte him if you hit him in his head. He becomes repostable, or at least he gets stunned. Okay, he's dead. Thank you. Bloodstone shard, thank you. And there's 5 more bloodstone shards, so now we can upgrade to +3 our flame sprayer. Now remember, Gilbert said that there is a bridge that's closed off to Cathedral Ward, and that bridge is where we fought the Cleric Beast, basically. However, I forgot to mention that after we killed him, it was a dead end. However, there was a door there that you cannot open and you can never open, which is basically this door. This is actually the main entrance to Cathedral Ward, not the way we took. This is the official way. And the way they proved it, actually the players, they used this item, which is called, where is it? Do we have from it? Yes, we do. Shining coins. This actually, use it so you don't get lost. So look. So what the player did at the time, he just put a lot of them here and he went the other side, and yes, you can see them shining. So yes, if this door opens, actually you end up being on the bridge where the Cleric Beast is. Why is it closed and why From Software, kept it closed? Only God knows, or only Miyazaki knows. So let's go back. If you also noticed while German was talking that the old lady is in Cathedral Ward, let's talk to her. Now we have a lot of bloodstone shards we can upgrade. However, we won't do that until we need to go back to the Hunter's Dream. So let's continue our path over here. Okay, this enemy, I forgot about him. Let's get rid of him. Oh. He's a bit easier than the other guy in my opinion. Although still dangerous, but at least his weapon doesn't fly all over the place with a broken hitbox. Come on, stamina. Okay, we need some breathing room. Thank you. Bloodstone shard? Yes. So after we kill the Cleric Beast, there's an item that opens up at the merchant shop that we can buy, that it says it has some type of magic that basically it opens this door. Only a special emblem opens the main gate. So it's an emblem that you can buy. It costs 10,000. You can skip a boss if you do that, and you can go early on in Cathedral Ward. However, we won't be doing that. Let's continue our path. Another thing here is, and also about insight, is look, if I take this item and if I stay here, I do die. And now you'll see what happens here. First time around, you'll be like, what the fuck? You'll say, what just happened? And if you stay there, you'll die and you'll be a bigger what the fuck moment. Once you have more insight, you can actually see whatever this thing is doing, whatever, So the more insight you have, the more you can see from the world, however you get crazier. But very interesting mechanic I love. You will get mind fucked once you see what this thing is. I believe we can see after we have 40 insight. So this door is closed. So basically this is our path forward. We have to open it somehow. So let's talk this old lady.
Oh no, I haven't forgotten. Do you think I owe you something? Well, that's a fine lark, I'd say. This whole mess that Yharnam's in, it's all your fault. You predicty outsiders. Our blood's ruined, tainted by your ilk. Don't you come near me. I know.
So basically she dislikes us a lot. So she doesn't like us at all, this lady, unfortunately. Let's continue now. Actually, you can see Tomb of Edon. No, not from here. But yeah, as I said, the interconnection of this game is just amazing. How it's all connected together. So over here, if you rush, you're a dead man too. You want to take your time. Go to the right over here. Get rid of this guy. What? He's taking no damage? Did you notice that? I went through him for some reason. Alright. Okay, here's our blood echoes. Let's kill this guy again. I don't know how I died there, to be honest. It was weird. Oh, what? That happened again. What the hell is that? Never actually seen this before. He took no damage. Oh, I have no more bullets left, which is weird. Usually I have tons of bullets at this point. I have to buy some once I go back to the Hunter's Dream, because we're going to be needing a lot of bullets for this playthrough. However, we can do this, have 5. So yeah, another thing about insight. Of course, the highest you can have as an insight, it's 99. Also, it correlates with 2 other stats. There's a stat called Beasthood. The more you have insight, the less Beasthood you have. So if you want to use any Beasthood items, or You'll know about this later on, we'll talk about it. But if you want to use Beasthood stuff, you should have lower insight. Also, the higher insight you have, the lesser frenzy you have. So there's something called status effect called frenzy. We won't encounter it soon, but it's interesting how these both things are tied together. So I should have used this instead. See, it's a killer against dogs, a flame sprayer. No joke. No joke. So this guy's supposed to drop us some bullets. Thank you. Oh, how about that? Another NPC praying at an altar. You wonder why, yeah? Let me just make the audio, get the audio for it. 1 second. Alright, let's go.
You're a beast hunter, aren't you? I knew it. That's precisely how I started out. Oh, beg pardon. You may call me Alfred, protege of Master Ligurius, hunter of vile bloods. So, what say you? Our prey might differ, but we are hunters, the both of us. Why not cooperate and discuss the things we've learned? Oh, very good. Very good indeed. Take this to celebrate our acquaintance. Beast hunting is a sacred practice. May the good blood guide your way. There must be oodles for us to share. Go on, just tell me what piques your interest. As you know, the Healing Church is the fountainhead of blood healing. Well, I'm a simple hunter, quite unfamiliar with the ins and outs of the institution. But I have heard that the holy medium of blood healing is venerated in the main cathedral, and that counselors of the old church reside in the high stratum of the Cathedral Ward. If you seek blood healing, and the church is willing, you should pay them a visit. Byrgenwerth is an old place of learning, and the Tomb of the Gods, carved out below Yharnam, should be familiar to every hunter. Well, once a group of young Byrgenwerth scholars discovered a holy medium deep within the tomb. This led to the founding of the Healing Church and the establishment of blood healing. In this sense, everything sacred in Yharnam can be traced back to Byrgenwerth. But today, the college lies deep within a tangled wood, abandoned and decrepit. And furthermore, the Healing Church has declared Byrgenwerth forbidden ground. It's unclear how many of its scholars remain alive, but only they know the password that allows passage through the gate. I bid you farewell. It has been a pleasure. May the good blood guide your...
So Alfred, we cooperated with him. He gave us items. Now we'll talk about them. Let's upgrade first our stuff. So now we have a +3 flame sprayer. Now in order to make it +4, now we need a different item. If you look at the upper right, it says Twin Blood Stone Shards. Now let's fortify our actual weapon, the Soul Cleaver. We need one more, which I think we can buy at this point from here. Let's check. Nope, we cannot yet. Let's see if we can buy it here. Nope, not yet too. This is the emblem we were talking about. Let's read the description. A cloth emblem that belonged to the captain of the church, hunters long ago. Opens the main gate that leads to the round plaza of the great cathedral. The main gate is shut tight on nights of the hunt and could only be opened from the other side with this emblem. In other words, the captain's return and this emblem determined the end of the hunt. So Alfred told us a lot about the lore. First, he told us to cooperate. He gave us an item called fire paper. It actually buffs our weapon with fire, which is really good against beasts. Another thing he told us about is about the origin of the Healing Church. Basically, when he talks the tombs of the gods, he's talking about the chalice dungeons, which is the ones, you know, the one we will access later on over here. And if you notice, he says tomb of the gods. He says gods because it's actually a human thing to say that. Usually things that you cannot associate. Okay, let's go back. Oh, I forgot to put the blood gems. Let's put the blood gems and I'll talk more about Alfred once we go back. So blood gem, you do it from here. Blood gem fortification. We have now only one slot. We have one physical 0.7, one 1.1. However, remember we took an item after Gascoigne. It said if we use it, this one, the mother one, actually gives us a blood gem. And it's actually better than the other ones. So we can actually put it on our weapon here. Red blood gem. It gives us 2.7% attack and 1.8 rally potential. Rally potential is how much you regain HP after you lose HP. So it's an important stat. They never ever tell you that it's called rally potential. I don't know how we're supposed to know that. Let's buy bullets for our weapon. And maybe okay. And we also got an antidote from Old Yharnam. So let's read that. It's important. Small medicinal tablets that counteract poison, used to treat ashen blood. So the poison, being poisoned, is having ashen blood. The baffling sickness that ravaged Old Yharnam long ago. These tablets only provide short-term relief. The ashen blood element, or ailment, whatever that is, eventually triggered the spread of the beastly scourge. So this is actually the source of this beastly scourge. And poison is an important thing in this game. Let's see if we can level up at least once.
Very well.
Okay, yes, we can.
Farewell.
So poison is intricate in the lore. And it's basically when somebody has ashen blood, that's when you're poisoned. Let's go back to Old Yharnam. So let's continue. Alfred told us a ton about this game, a ton, which we have to dissect one by one. So before we do that, let's just hear this dialogue over here quickly and we'll talk about it. So it says, this town is long abandoned, hunters not wanted here. So we're not wanted here basically. Old Yharnam. This is actually the first area. Okay, let's hear this guy first.
Turn back at once. Old Yharnam, burned and abandoned by men, is now home only to beasts. Turn, or the hunter will face the hunt.
So he's telling us that these beasts are actually humans, which is true, by the way. Okay, let's go back to Alfred. So Alfred actually says he's the protege of Martyr Logarius. So that's an important thing. And he calls himself a vile blood hunter. So what the hell are vile bloods? We still don't know at this point. He also tells us about the healing church and Bergenworth. So the healing church, the source of the blood, he says, is in the... Okay, let's get this. The healing church, the source of the blood is in a grand cathedral, he says, where, you know, it's the source of the healing church blood healing, which we didn't go there yet, but we'll find the secret later on. He also says about the Tomb of the Gods, which are the Chalice dungeons. He said, you know, they found the source from there. And they say Tomb of the Gods because, you know, when there's something you cannot identify, a lot of humans is just, you know, related to ghosts or magic or something superstitious. It's an easy way out. So actually the gods he's talking about is not, there are no gods. We'll know more about these gods he's talking about, but it's an interesting thing how Miyazaki keeps his NPCs actually relevant to real life, because once you don't know something, as I said, when like back in the day when the Vikings saw the moon and the sun, you know what they call it when the moon and the sun, you know, align? I forgot what it's called in English. But they thought it was from a god of the sky, which I believe is Thor, and the only way to redeem that was to basically shout at the moon. So what I'm saying, the point that I'm saying is, you know, humans when they don't know something or they see something they don't understand, quickly they jump to conclusions. So back in the day, there was one day where most humans actually believed that the earth is flat. Although most humans believed that, it wasn't correct. It wasn't correct, my friends. So once you don't understand something, you can easily associate it to a godly thing or to a magical thing. So there's some hint of that in this game, where NPCs also don't understand fully the world around them, which is extremely fascinating. Okay, this area is one of the first areas at PvP. Let's ring the Sinister Bell so we get invaded or invade while we're playing. But yeah, the frame rates here is the worst. The frame rate here in this area is the worst in the whole game. Drops drastically. So now we saw a different kind of beast. These beasts seems to be fully beasts. Their only human-like feature is walking on 2 feet. That's the only thing. Standing upright. That's the only human-like thing they have. But they evolved way beyond the other beasts we saw in Central Yharnam. So these beasts eventually evolve more for some reason. And they do inflict poison. So they do have ashen blood. So I guess that's one of the reasons why they're more evolved. Well, let me check if I have a password. I think there's a password. Let me get rid of it. Alright, I knew it. Let's so we can use the silencing beckoning bell to stop invasions or stop co-opers or make or even kick out co-opers if you want. But let's ring again. So there's a hidden bloodstone shard here. Now if you look at the monocular, we can actually see the guy who's talking to us. He's over there with a Gatling gun. That motherfucker. And yes, he's gonna be shooting us with the Gatling gun. This is one of, you know, the few nice things that happen in this area. So this is old, it's called Old Yharnam, so it's the older part of the city. So that's why also maybe people are more, you know, beast-like at this point.
You are a skilled hunter, adept, merciless.
There's a shortcut here, actually, if you jump, that you can actually skip most of the level. We're not going to be doing that, though. So here we see even bigger beasts. See how much damage this flame sprayer do? It's no joke against beasts. So yeah, Alfred is a vile blood hunter. It's actually a covenant which we can join later on. He's also a hunter just like us, or he started like us, as he, you know, said. And we know also he says that the Healing Church considers Bergenworth at the moment forbidden ground, and he does also describe where is the oh shit, forgot about this trap. He also tells us a bit about where Bergenworth is. He says it's inside a forest, deep in a forest. So we're gonna be going there at some point, but I like this foreshadowing in the game. Another big ass beast. Beast. Oh shit, I don't wanna die. I don't wanna die! Okay, let's spray the shit out of these guys. It didn't do much damage though. You cannot stun things with this thing, with the flame sprayer, but it does a lot of damage. Blood-tinged gemstone. So these are for the guns. By the way, if you look at the shapes of the gems, it actually tells you what shape is mostly. So the radials are for physical. If you read at the bottom, it says most radial blood gems have effects that bear upon physical damage. However, the circular one, it says circular blood gems are normally used to fortify firearms. Although there are exceptions where you can actually put a firearm blood gem on a weapon. But there are only 2 weapons that I'm aware of that can do that, and they are blood-tinged weapons. That's why they have that, and you need also a certain type of this weapon. There's always each weapon in the game. There's 3 types, and each type, the only difference between them is the imprints. Remember the squares I said, the radial and the shapes. So each one determines what kind of gems you're gonna be putting on. So there are 3 types. There's the normal standard version. There's lost. So there is a lost soul cleaver, for example, and then there's of course uncanny. Each one has its own imprints, and it depends on which weapon. Now the Lost, what's it called? The Lost Shikage, which is a blood-tinged weapon, and the Lost Simon's Blade, a DLC weapon, also has a big function of blood tinge in it. Both of them have the lost, or circular imprint. Okay, we can continue our path here. We can either go straight here, or go up the stair, or up the ladder, or come over here. There's actually a hidden place over here. Let's go there. Although we're gonna be, this NPC is extremely strong. You wanna skip him now. This bird is blocking our way, extremely annoying. So the jump, okay, see, I told you how they block the way. They can be extremely annoying, these guys. Okay, we made it, thank God. So the shortcut, actually, remember the jump I told you? You end up standing, okay, this is the bell ringing woman. This is the lady that actually summons other people to invade us. If I kill her, nobody invades us, so I'm gonna keep her alive. However, the shortcut I was talking about, you can jump from up there and land here, and then you can land on the low texture bridge. Once you go down, actually the game loads, and you can skip a big portion of this map. So here is a place where actually I missed in my first playthrough in Bloodborne. It's a secret area, a lot of enemies, although we're gonna just run past them. So take this item. There's actually a weapon and a set of armor here, and also a gem. Yes. Just run. The weapon is over here, rifle, spear. We won't be using this weapon in this playthrough. It's a skill weapon mainly. So, and there's a message from developers. The red moon hangs low and beasts rule the streets. Are we left no other choice than to burn it all to cinders? There's actually another piece I forgot to read in the Central Yharnam. Unfortunately, you find it inside that place where you find where you open the shortcut, basically, where it says that the healing church is how bad the healing church is. Actually, it's an important text that I missed, unfortunately. In the next episode, I'll read it out, but I can't now go back to Central Yharnam. So also, please tell me what you think about this playthrough at this point. This is my first attempt of doing a real playthrough. Any feedback will be appreciated. I won't take anything personally. I want to make it as the best I can. I know I'm not the best at this, but I enjoy it. That's the #1 thing. I love this game. So by the way, now we can actually attack this NPC that was shooting at us, but it's a bad idea to do that. Although it's good for our Arcane build, since he gives us a badge that is pretty good. It actually unlocks an item that actually is very useful. However, he's one of the most broken fights in the game. However, people just go up, run, and just kick him out the map. He falls down and he dies. However, if we do something else later on, he actually can become a friend. So let's keep him alive for now. So this is a different alternative path we can take other than the path I'll show you now. Remember, I told there's a path from here, but we can take this path and just, you know, skip all the enemies basically. So you can see the room over there. We drop down over here. So there's an item over there. If I don't make this jump, we will miss it. It's not an important item really. Okay, more Molotov cocktails, but let's try to get it. Alright. Bloody Messenger Head Bandage. Now this item has nothing useful for us, but let's read the description just in case, because I don't remember the description on this. Accessory adored by naive. They always mention messengers as naive, man. I hate that. I love the messengers. Come on, bruh. By naive messengers imitating the bandages of scourge victims. Unaware of their meaning, the spatters of blood gave it a particularly nice touch. The inhabitants of the stump appear to have an interest in adornment. Why not let them be happy and revel as babes? So this item that we can actually give to our messengers so they can wear, basically. So it's an accessory to them, nothing more. There's actually a platform here you can see, barely see, but we can jump to. Although we don't die if we miss it, but still if we cover some of the damage. Okay, we missed it and we're still alive. Now there's a million beasts here. We want to skip them, take this item, extremely important, Ritual Blood 1. Without it, we cannot access the Chalice dungeons, basically. So there's a trillion beasts now following us, and there's a shortcut we should open here. And yes, they can climb ladders, I believe, but for some reason he did not. So there's not a lot of activity, unfortunately. Until now we didn't get invaded. So this is a shortcut, just to give you a perspective where we at. We just been here like a minute ago. There's an item there, I think bloodstone shards we missed. Leave it be, no worries. I ain't got no worries. See, they can poison us, these guys. The thing is, why I want to kill them, we can just run there, but I want to show you something. What? Never seen this happen before. Chill out, beast. And if you notice, they have red eyes, these beasts. Different from the others we saw up there. They're a bit more powerful, these ones. And usually it indicates, I think, that they poison enemies, I believe. And also, if you notice, a lot of the enemies, they cover their eyes and nose. I think this is because of the incense, whatever that word is, because of the smell. So actually, we can spot an early ambush from here. Can you see this beast? So we're gonna be going there later on. This is the only chance you can get a proper view of him. Let's continue our way. So remember, German told us to seek a holy chalice, which we will find somewhere in this area. There's an ambush here, by the way. There's that monster that gives you bloodstone shards. If you keep going straight, you won't see these guys, and you will run to it, and you will be dead. Here it is. Yeah. So you come here, and then you find 4 beasts behind you. That's the trap, basically. Now, in this part of the game, this is where the game's telling you, hey, if you've been skipping these beasts, now you can't. Now you can't. Of course, you can run past by them. Run by past them. I don't know how exactly to say that phrase. But here you have to face these beasts. You have to. You don't have to, as I said, you can run it, but it's the better option. So here you have to face your fears until now. If you've been skipping them, now you cannot. Because usually they are skippable. We see a door here that we cannot open. That means at some point we're going to be opening it. Let's ring this and ring it again. It's unfortunate that the game is not very active. So he's our first beast. Oh, it's 2 beasts. For fuck's sake, let's use this. No, use other. I'm doing the mistake of... Okay, I don't know how that other guy gave me room to kill this one, but thank you. So they're not as difficult as they seem. Remember the bridge? It's over there. And remember the ambush that I told you about? So the beast over there. There's actually a very, very important item here. A consumable that helps a ton in this game. So basically he doesn't fall down until you take that item, which is over here. Beast blood pellets. So you could be scared shitless first time here. You'd be like, what the hell? Where did this beast come from? Bloodstone shards. Thank you. So here we actually opened that shortcut door we found before, if you remember. So the antidotes that they're throwing at us, there's a reason for it. Remember that every item placement you find, every item you find on your way has a purpose always in these games. So yes, watch out. That means at some point you're gonna be facing poison hard. So the door, remember here, I came down here before. So now we can go back to the lamp easily. If we die, we can come back also here easily. So this beast, he doesn't have red eyes because he doesn't poison us, and he's a bit light in color too. The other ones are a bit darker, but still, the concept of beasthood is very fascinating in this game. There's a lot of depth into it. Although you can play the whole game just like me and not understand shit. That's what happened. I played the game at least 3-4 times without knowing shit about what's really happening in the game. That's why we have to play detective in this playthrough, so we can at least understand the theme of the game and the concept and the story. So another red-eyed beast. I think this one actually also poisons. Of course, we're gonna be changing our weapons along the way. Don't worry, we won't stay using this. don't disappear on our ass. I'm pretty sure now we can upgrade the Soul Cleaver to +3. So now let's equip, by the way, I don't know why I have this equipped, or this. So now we're gonna fight a boss that is a beast. So this can come in handy, the Pungent Blood Cocktail, and you'll see why now. Remember, beasts follow this because of the smell. They will just ignore you. Here, if you have the Beckoning Bell, you can actually summon Alfred, the NPC we were talking to, so he can help you out in this fight. But we won't. Also, there's an item over here. More, yeah, I thought it would be pungent. There's enemies, by the way, here too, and they don't aggro unless you hit them. So they're just chilling in here, next to these crucifixion-style wooden things. Let's see, is there another item here? Nope. Oh yeah, there's an item over here. So we can see the boss from here. You can see him. Let's put antidote because he is poisonous. Throw the pungent in the corner there. He will follow it endlessly and just burn fire to this guy. Burn him alive. Throw another one in the corner. Okay, that's good, that's good. This has to go all the way there now. Throw another one. That feels great, burning him alive like that. Throw another one. Let me get more bullets. Don't want to waste our bullets for nothing. Throw another one. Why not? Throw another one. Get more bullets. So he's pretty easy once you use these items. Just burn him alive. Burn him alive! Thank you. That was satisfying. The Muro Chalice. At last we got our hand on the first holy chalice. Which, by the way, I think it's a reference to the chalice in the Christian faith, where the last meeting Jesus had, they had like a chalice. They were drinking from a chalice wine, something like that. Here we drink the blood of beasts instead. So let's read the description on it, because it does give us a bit of history. Ritual chalice found in the Church of the Good Chalice, used in the ritual of the tomb altar in the hunter's dream to break the seal of the underground labyrinth. Let the chalice reveal the tomb of the gods. Let blood be the hunter's nourishment, and let ye partake in communion. Oh man, that is extremely, extremely fascinating. Let's just cancel this. So this is the end of this first video. Give me feedback. I would love to hear your feedback. I'm loving this. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. It's a privilege, man. It's a privilege to do this and people watch. I want to take all your feedback. Tell me what I missed. I try to improve everything I can in the second episode. The first episode is basically like an experiment. So any feedback you give, I will be very, very grateful. And in the next episode, I will start in the hunter's dream. So I'm going to be using this lamp now. So see you, beautiful people. Bye-bye.